तद्विद्धि प्रणिपातेन परिप्रश्नेन सेवया उपदक्ष्यन्ति ते ज्ञानं ज्ञानिना तत्त्वदर्शिनः. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master, inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized soul can impart knowledge unto you because he has seen the truth. So this is the process of understanding spiritual knowledge. Everything has a process. Bhagavad Gita is such a complete book. He also gives you how to learn the spiritual knowledge. Just like a medicine bottle, it also tells you when to take, with what to take. It's complete. Bhagavad Gita teaches in itself how it has to be learned. So Bhagavad Gita cannot be learned without having a guru. It's out of question. And guru not like what we have in the society today, Upanayana, fashion. No. Guru means you have to obey him. Yeah? That is a mistake in the modern society today. Most of the people in India, they do not know anything about the spiritual knowledge because there is no guru. I gave this example very much time. Suppose you want to learn something. You want to learn engineering. Okay? You go to the college. There all the books are there in the library. Will you become a degree just by going to the library holding the books? No. You need a teacher. Okay? You need a teacher. Why you go to school? Get the textbooks available in market, sit at home and study. What do they need? Why medical colleges are needed? Yes. What books itself? Internet download. You can read. Ban gaya doctor, ban gaya engineer. Okay? No need of books also nowadays. Soft copies, mobile. Ban gaya doctor. Engineer bhi ho gaya main. And you give some exam. No. It will not work out. Just imagine, this is a very small point, but it is a very serious ramification. If there is a college and they have a library, they have this day exam is there is no classes, it will not work out. There may be some exception. I am not saying there can not be some exception. Exceptions are there to every rule, but it is not the system. There are some people who dropped out from colleges and became Nobel Prize winners. They never studied. Sometimes they drop out of the college, they make a big company and they employ the teachers. That has also happened. But generally that is not the way. Are you planning? No, anybody plans that way? Nobody plans that way. Exception is there, but that is not the system. Okay? The system is Tatvidhi Pranipatena. You don't find an example in the history of somebody who had not taken shelter of an acharya. You cannot find. And he was a devotee. Bogus are there enough. They are not taken shelter of an acharya and they become great devotees. There are many bogus people like that. Many nataks are there. That is what we should study first. Before you hear anything in any line, you should always hear to authorities. Otherwise you'll get confused. Suppose you want to learn anything about, say, physics. You hear from an authorized place. And there is a system. There are schools are registered to teach. If suppose some school teaches some nonsense book on physics, all ulta pulta, the school will be deregistered tomorrow. There is a system. And actually in spiritual life, the system is even more rigorous. First thing, he has to follow some bhashya on Vedanta. We have to check out which bhashya is following. Second thing, somebody should have certified and trained him. And that person should come in a Guru Parampara. Thirdly, his own behavior should be according to the Shastra. Fourth, he should be effective. We should see what is the result of all his preaching. Correct? We have to go by so many ways. It's more rigorous. When you become a doctor, you don't have to write a bhashya and all. It's one limited. But this is actually extremely rigorous system, but it has gone out of place. Correct? Today you see in medicine, now you are in particular line of medicine. If you suppose prescribe a wrong medicine, do a wrong diagnosis, he can complain to the board and doctor can be even de-recognized. True? He can even go to court against it. See, he gave me a wrong medication. But somehow it has come to the picture, the spiritual life is just one's own opinion, and person can do whatever he wants, and one opinion as good as another opinion. Correct? There are no authorities. So this is very unfortunate. So there Krishna is saying this is not the way to learn. If you want to know the transcendental subject matter, tad vidhi, you want to know, what do you do? Pranipatana. You have to learn from a person. Pranipata doesn't happen in the air. You have to make it practical. Okay? Pranipata. You take shelter. Please teach me this. You have to find a teacher. And then pariprashnena. You have to have first, after you surrender, yes, just like you go to a college. It's very simple principle. Understand the principle, then application is a very big thing. Principle is, suppose you go to the college and you say, teacher, why do you do all this thing? Why do you do all this? What will the teacher say? Please get out. First take admission and come. I'm not going to teach. So first you have to surrender before you learn a medical course. Can you do like that? I go to the college. See, you are doing like that, you are doing. I say, what is this all? There is a system. We are teaching medical course here. And first get qualified, get admitted, then we will teach you. Okay? So people do not think it requires some qualification. They will just come running. Show me God, very soul. What do you do? Arey Baba, how can I proceed if you speak like that? First get qualified to learn spiritual subject matter. Be eager, sincere. And then follow the rules and regulations I give you. Prabhupada one time very nicely said, somebody asked Srila Prabhupada, can you show me God? Prabhupada said, it's not a 5-minute affair. Now you just imagine, to learn even what is there in the body, how many organs are there, how many bones are there, how the body anatomy is organized, it takes a full course of a semester. How much it takes a time? 6 months, 1 year? 1 year course is there. And you want to know about the Supreme Lord? And 5 minutes, please tell me, show me. Isn't it unreasonable? Doctor has to go through a system. Just like I give a very good example. You have to cooperate. You have to cooperate. If you want to learn from something from somebody, you have to cooperate. We are ready to teach. You are happy to teach. In fact, in the medical field, you have to pay crores to learn even what is there in the body. They are not going to teach you free. But here we are teaching free. But we are just asking you to cooperate with us. We want to teach. We want to give this knowledge. The sanctity of the knowledge will be lost if it becomes a commercial. Correct? We want this knowledge to be spread. We are happy to teach. But you have to cooperate with us. But people are not ready to cooperate. And what is the cooperation? Pranipata. First surrender. Surrender means you have to obey. You have to first hear. Just like a doctor is explaining how the bacteria, viruses are making you sick, you have to hear patiently what doctor is trying to say. Correct? That is pranipata. To hear. The beginning of pranipata is submissively hearing. Rest will follow. Just like you go to the college and you have some basic faith, and it's just a practical faith. You are hearing. It's not blind faith, practical faith. The college has acted. It has produced so many good doctors. So you are therefore have some practical faith. It's not blind faith, correct? Based on the result the college has produced, based on the certification the college has with the government, different agencies, correct? You have NAC accreditation, so many things. Therefore, you're not able to understand when they're saying in the beginning, they're presenting their model of the body, they're presenting the model how diseases form. You are hearing patiently, trying to understand what they're saying. If right in the beginning you say, I will not hear, then how will the institute proceed? You say you cut the body in 2 parts, why not 3 parts? Say, please leave me alone. Let me finish what I'm trying to say. But what happens? Suppose you are a great doctor in the city. It's simple, but let it be said. Suppose you are a great doctor in the Mangalore city, expert in your field. Or suppose all of us, God forbid, do a propaganda against you. What do? a big propaganda against you. He's bad doctor. He killed 20 people. Then what happens? Even though you're extremely capable, you cannot prove your worth. Can you prove your worth now? It's not possible. Because already situation is biased. There have been a propaganda. So similarly, in the society, there is a propaganda. Don't read Bhagavad Gita. This all is mythology. How do we prove its worth? Isn't it? It's very simple. There is so much propaganda. There is so much. They're not giving us an opportunity. They just give us an opportunity. And you hear patiently. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, in Kali Yuga, nothing is possible. Only thing is needed is with submission, with service, with respect. Person just hear the message of Gita. That's all. Rest things are not possible in Kali Yuga. Wherever somebody is situated, just with submission, service, hear the message of the Acharya. Yes, his spiritual life will pick up. But if there is propaganda, if there is a bias, then how difficult it is to go. I was telling you in the morning, very interesting thing. In the Gaudiya Math that formed in the beginning, there was some small success. It was so small that Bhaktivinoda Prabhupada wound it up. The small success was they went to Europe and they made few devotees in Germany. They made a small center also. So then what happened was that when he came to know, one of the persons there, he wrote a very humble letter to Bhaktivinoda Prabhupada. That I was not born in India, in the culture of India, where so many Devi Devatas and so much worship, everything. So I feel I'm not fit really to be having been introduced to this. So Bhaktivinoda Prabhupada wrote back, it is good you're not introduced to the confusion. In my college, I remember, because I was very new to Krishna consciousness. So when I met the devotees, I was extremely happy seeing them, and gave me new life. Some hope, some meaning to life. So I was so happy meeting them. So I asked them, what do you speak about? Because they were not Indian, they were Germans. General understanding of Bhagavad Gita and Krishna consciousness society. You know what he said? Ocean of confusion. Not even little, ocean of confusion. Why? Because there is no tadvidhi pranipatena. People don't want to know how it has to be learned. There is a process. And I am not saying the process. Krishna is saying, it's clear, black and white. You have to take shelter of a Acharya. Why? What is the qualification of Acharya? Tattva darshinaha. Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upidakshanti te jnanam jnanina tattva darshina. He has seen the truth. He is not theorizing. He is seeing and speaking. He say Krishna is very beautiful. Seeing is. You have to get an Acharya like that. Tattva darshi. Darshan means, darshan is clear or not? दर्शन है, थ्योरी नहीं है. थ्योरी तो आप सबको आता है, हम सबको आता है. थ्योरी तो आप भी बोल सकते हैं, आप भी बोल सकते हैं. थ्योरी में कोई बड़ा चीज नहीं है. दर्शन इज नॉट इजी. Darshan requires person to be very, very sincere. Then he can say, yes, it is true. So then how will he show? How will he speak? Because he is speaking. So when he approaches such a personality with service, Prabhupada says the inquiry will not help if there is no service and surrender. Pranipata, without pranipata, just like say, you're a doctor. Now, would you agree to even spend your time with a person who doesn't come with a proper spirit? A patient should come with the spirit of a patient. Yes, doctor, I have some problem. What should I do? There is an etiquette, there is a culture. If that is not followed, doctor is not going to work. Correct? You cannot force. Would you allow? Somebody comes to your clinic and, what are you? Say, please go outside. That's not the way. There is a process. Pranipata, to some degree. He is. So this principle is extremely important, and it is being used for any knowledge. Any knowledge you want to learn, we discuss anatomy, this principle is being used. But somehow when it comes to spiritual knowledge, people want to just argue. Tarka apratishta, even though Shastra say, by argument you will not learn. Shrutaya vibhinnaha, you will not learn. So if you want to learn spiritual knowledge, just like I want to learn a basic education, what is that, adding numbers and all, we go to school. For that we are ready to surrender. School says come 9 o'clock, I'll come 9 o'clock. School says you have to do homework, I'll do homework. I'm surrendering. School says you'll not get holiday that time, I'll not get holiday that time. You have to surrender. And then only I am getting some learning. I'm learning something. And you want to learn spiritual knowledge. There was a nice joke somebody said. He said, why do you need a guru? He said, from running for 100 meters, Milkha Singh needed one guru. And from here to go to Bhagavad Dham, you don't need guru. Such a long distance it is. You don't need guru. For running all the sports stars, for small race here and there, they have psychologist, team psychologist. They need a psychologist also nowadays. They have a teacher, they have a physician. A big band is there for one athlete. And here we want to go back to spiritual world. We don't need any guide. They don't need any teacher. We don't need any support. So it is very wrong. In fact, Prabhupada said this is the main problem for spiritual understanding. People are sitting and hallucinating. Speculating and hallucinating. And to aid that hallucination, sometimes they take drugs also. That's very common in North India. Have you gone to Kumbh Mela? Very common. Ganja though is like taken like a tulsi. Like we take something auspicious like Charnamit. They take ganja like anything. You go to Kumbh Mela, you can see all the big the Naga Babas, which are given number one respect, all taking ganja openly, publicly. Okay, secretly chalo, publicly. Now what a common man thinks about it, So to aid your hallucination, because hallucination needs some engine, some ganja, because it blows the mind becomes very excited. Correct? There are psychotic drugs, even in the medicine, they will excite your mind so much. Then you start imagining things. That will not help you. That will not help you advance in spiritual life. Okay? So we should be very, very careful. What we need? Pranipatena. We have to. In fact, you will not find an instance in the history. Even Lord Chaitanya, Pranipatena. The principle is not broken. True, Lord Chaitanya condition is that he is himself the Guru. He is the Jagat Guru. But still, he is taking shelter of Ishwar Puri. Because why does he need to do? He wants to show the principle should not be broken for you. Lord Rama, why does he need a Guru? Lord Krishna, why does he need Sandipani Muni? He doesn't need. He is the Adi Guru. But still, the principle, if you don't want to learn spiritual line, that's fine. Correct? You want to become a cricket star, they join a cricket academy. They want a football star, they have football, like everything. You want to learn swimming, you have to go to a swimming pool and have a coach. He will teach you. For everything, you need a teacher. So therefore, in spiritual line also we need a teacher. And not only that, this is the greatest of all the knowledge. If you want to compare knowledge, I told you that example. Srila Prabhupada went to America, to university, MIT, America. Massachusetts. Difficult to pronounce. So when he went there, they showed him different departments. Then Prabhupada said, okay, that's fine. Where is the department to study the difference between body and soul? The difference between dead body and a living body. Do you have any department that studies the difference? Because everything is there. It's his department actually. If he's telling we should have a department like to study. Because whatever you do once the body is dead, you can't revive it. So they say, no, we do not have the department. Do you mean department of soul? Oh no, the intelligence. Prabhupada said, yes. No, we do not have it. Then Prabhupada said, everything is useless. No, Swamiji, every knowledge has value. Prabhupada says, relative value. So now, to learn small knowledge, you are ready to follow all tadvidhi, pranipatena, pariprashnena, and you want to learn spiritual knowledge, you don't want to follow that process, you will not get anything. Zero. Correct? The process has to be followed. That's the way. Process has to be followed. But somehow, unfortunately, there is a big propaganda, there are no systems. There is the Prabhupada says the whole mistake is happening because there is Bhagavad Gita talks about Guru Parampara, Evam Parampara Praptam, the knowledge is coming in Guru Parampara. Nobody bothers about Parampara. Correct? That's why I always say any information will reveal who spoke it. It's like suppose a doctor gives a prescription. He has to have that learned in a particular school of education. He cannot say, I think I should. No, he cannot do like that. He has to follow. So similarly, parampara means there are 4 bona fide paramparas lifted in, mentioned in the Padma Purana. There is a Sri Parampara coming from Lakshmi. Then there is a parampara coming from Brahma. There is a parampara coming from Brahma Parampara, Madhvacharya the prominent, Shri Parampara, Ramanujacharya, Nimbarka Swami coming from the four Kumaras, and Vishnu Swami from Lord Shiva, Rudra Sampradaya. All four are Vaishnava Sampradayas, okay, which worship of Lord Vishnu. These are the only four bona fide Sampradayas mentioned in the scriptures. No fifth, no sixth. It has to be connected to this. Just like you want to stand for election also, there are some independents. Sometimes they will. But generally you join one party. You have to decide which party you want to join. A Ramanuja party, Madhva party, that's you need to do. Don't try independent thing. It will not work. You cannot form a government being independent. Correct? You have to join a party. So if you want to advance the spiritual line, it is extremely important, this principle, to take shelter of a acharya and learn systematically. And what is the qualification of an acharya? He should be certified and he should be self-effulgent. Just like a doctor. What is the qualification of the doctor? He should be certified and he should be effulgent by his work. Not only I am certified. We see by work also is very effulgent. Then you know he is a good doctor. So in that way, spiritual line is actually very clear. If somebody is sincere, Prabhupada is saying here, the spiritual master is generally very merciful. Somebody is just like a teacher. A student is sincerely trying to understand the subject. The teacher will call him, come, I'll explain to you nicely. He'll convince him. So similarly, if somebody is sincere in spiritual line, inquiry and submission will be very fruitful and he will understand everything. If we do not follow this process, we think I'll sit and imagine, which has become a general routine. Everybody hears something from a TV, something from here, make a khichdi and follow. That's bogus. Can you become a doctor like that? Something I learned from medicine. Who has tested you? Who has certified you? You cannot become a doctor like that. Agree? Somebody has to test and say, yes, you know. Unless you get a doctor's degree, how do you know? Say, even if you read something from the internet, even if you did something nowadays, homeschooling is there. But at least a test has to be done, no? Somebody has to conduct a test. Yes, he knows. Otherwise, everybody will imagine, I am at the best platform, I know everything. That's a hallucination. That's not the way. At least nobody can follow you. It's dangerous. Just like suppose somebody said, I learned something about medicine from hearing somewhere, here. But he doesn't have a degree. Would you take a chance? Correct? Somebody says, you have a surgery to do done. He said, my father used to sometime during lunchtime tell me something, I heard a lot. I'll try to do surgery for you. Hey, does anybody give a certificate? Checked you. So somebody has to check. It's very important. That's a Guru Parampara. There is a system of, just like in a medicine also, there is a system of training and certification. The same way in the spiritual line, there is a system of training and certification. Yes, he is certified. He can also teach. Srila Prabhupada ki, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki.